Hello, how are you? I hope you've been fine and doing great. How is your weekend going? Welcome to the Youth Space. I hope you've been also anticipating for this show as we've been anticipating to have you. Welcome on board. Today we are here together with two of my colleagues and friends from Presbyterian University, and I can see they are glowing and they are happy. Of course, they are ladies. I'm the only man standing today. I'm one man standing. Okay, welcome guys to our show today. Karibuni sana.
Thank you.
Yeah, today we are going to talk about a very important issue. Of course, we are going to say that as we continue. So I want to just give them a chance to introduce themselves. We'll start with you, Sheila.
My name is Sheila Jepkemboy. Most of you guys have known me as Senator, and yes, I'm so pleased to be in this show, and yes, ready to talk about what the youth can really engage in to ensure that we prevent HIV and AIDS rates in Kenya.
Yeah, wow. Karibu sana.
Santi.
Ima.
Thank you and welcome. My name is Immaculate Jobet from the Presbyterian University of East Africa. I'm also here and I want to see what you're going to do for the youth and what we can do to reduce the rates at which HIV and AIDS is rising to. Thank you.
Thank you. Karibuni sana. I'm personally happy to host you today. As we talk, we're also engaging our minds and see how we can help our society. Wow, today we're having a very good, heavy topic that is affecting, I think, a lot of people in our society today, especially young people. And I just want us to do the background analysis and make our audience understand the issue of HIV and AIDS, the issue of STIs. How is it? Because if you look at statistics, about 1.4 million Kenyans, as per last year, I've not seen for this year, 1.4 million Kenyans are suffering or they are going through HIV and AIDS. Some are born with it, some get it. Away from that, the prevalence rate of HIV AIDS is about 4.2%. That means that there is high rising rates of infections. But if you look at these infections again deeper, it is noticed that it is young people, especially young people, as early as the age of 10, teenagers experiencing and getting infected with HIV and AIDS. So I just want us to do a brief. Is it happening? Is it spreading? Are there rates of HIV, especially with young people? Yeah, I'll begin with Sheila.
Yes, thank you, Ezra. I believe and I've seen, I've undergone and I've met young people who I knew they are well. But yes, at this time, we're seeing like a lot of young people are getting HIV positive. And yes, it's alarming. Most of the youth are really being infected with HIV and AIDS.
Wow, wow. Emma?
According to me, I'm going to say it is there. HIV and AIDS has risen to a very alarming rate because unapata nowadays, the youth wanaogopa, mostly ladies, wanaogopa pregnancy. And it's hilarious because unaogopa je pregnancy na ni kitu yenye. That is a blessing.
Wow.
But wanaogopa pregnancy more than the HIV and AIDS na hiyo ndio inakutoa duniani very fast.
Wow, so in short we are saying it is important for us to talk about the rates of HIV and AIDS as a society. Yeah, it is very important because as much as we talk about all the other things like drugs and substance abuse, all the other things, the core of which even our churches, they don't talk about it. When last did your pastor stand and say that guys HIV is spreading?
I think MK, right now, like most of the people are focusing on mental health. What is causing this mental health? We have HIV at first. It's becoming an epidemic, and sisi tushazoea, you know, that is the same way the youth outside there wanasema like sisi tushazoea. But the moment we start speaking about this, let's speak about this the way people are speaking about mental health. Let's speak about this the way people are talking about insecurity right now in Nairobi.
Wow. Wow, that's very important. You know, a Christian thinker, I think 3 years ago, came up with a funny statement. I don't know if it's funny. Said that the next thing after the World War I and World War II, another thing that is going to cause death and a lot of things is HIV and AIDS. That moral decay in our society is in a way that it will kill more people than the way World War I and World War II killed people. And funny thing is that World War I, about 19 million people died in World War I. And World War II, 40 million people died. So if that is the rates, meaning people are dying and it is happening. So I think it is very important for us to talk. But now, bringing it out to the inner core, what is happening? Why HIV and AIDS right now? And HIV, when we're talking about our forefathers, just to lay background of what we are talking about, our forefathers, like our grandparents, kuna time HIV haikukua. If you read the history of HIV and it's just started around 1970s 1980s ndo HIV ka rise. Coming to right now, it was dealing with their adults, but right now it is now causing with our students in campuses and everyone. No one is ready to talk about it. That's why we are here to talk about it. So what is happening? What is causing the rising rates? Of course, HIV and the AIDS is there. In that one, we are putting. I think it's good we lay foundation that some people can be born with it, of course. But what we are here now to talk about is the rates at which it is transmitted to other people, especially young people, and its effects. So before we talk about its effects, the effects of HIV and AIDS, especially to young people, can we talk about what is happening? What is causing the rising rates of HIV? Just give me points like, nini na cause HIV and AIDS is spread, say.
You know,
Emma?
I'm a model, and there is this one time, you know, as models tunatafuta ways of which in which youth wanaweza kuwa comfortable in the society. So tulikuwa tunataka blood donations.
Yeah, well.
But the hospitals were like, this will not happen because most of the blood will be disposed. Reason being HIV and AIDS imekuwa so high kwa students, but wanakanyagia. So unajua they just wanawapima and they see the rate at which how many students are. So I think most of the what I can say is that campuses, there is this unprotected sex, not sticking to one partner. So these are the causes. Like, those are the major causes.
You've thrown two very strong points, which of course, when it comes to campuses, that is what is happening. One, unprotected sex, and two, not sticking to one partner. Wow. We'll talk about that, Sheila.
Yes, and other causes of the spread of high rates in HIV, especially in campuses. We've seen sex for grades.
Yeah, sure.
We've seen people dating. Yes, these all lecturers in the universities. And I think most of them, as you've been, even you go to a university counselor and they'll always tell you, get away from this lecturer because we know his HIV status. But at the end of the day, people want good grades, right? Yes, so we need to get into these, I don't know where they go, but at the end of the day, we get high rates in universities because of sex for grades. Another reason is because of sponsors. Hey, the kitu may hit. Okay, like most of these guys, they just want money. So you get a lot of girls, a lot of even young men, because actually it's been like 2 days ago and someone was showing me and telling me, uya amewekwa na mama, and it's a young guy and so handsome. Actually, I was like, wow, this guy really looks good. No, so someone was telling me, we are mewekwa na mama, but what is behind being kept with this woman? We don't know the status of this lady, but you want money. So most of our relationships in campus has been because of money-driven and academic grades. HIV, boom, ni nani? We are ajuangi age, ajuangi the status.
Like
that's exactly, that is when we see a high rates.
Yeah, you guys are talking good. So, what you know, I'm here thinking, sex. Everyone knows that if you engage in unprotected sex without knowing the HIV status of a person, because you know, the other day we were talking with some guys and we were telling them that as much as we will be warned about sex, it will always happen, especially in campuses. You know, our parents are watching this and they are wondering, wow, tunaongelea hivi juu inatendeka. Tulikuwa tunasema wazazi wetu wakikuja kusimama tu kwa gate ya shule 2 hours watazimia. Hawezi tu. So you know it is happening. So Sheila and Ima, is it education? Do young people have this kind of education? Or what? Hiyo issue ya sex, engaging in unprotected sex. Ni watu wako ignorant ama wako hawana information at all? Ima?
What I'm going to say is that most of us are very ignorant. You're like, let's do this for pleasure. But after that, after pleasure, you're messing. So I think it's ignorance.
We have the information, but we're ignorant.
Yeah, but you're just ignoring.
Yeah, Sheila?
So Ezra, a young person and a young man in university will always check on their phones and see my Dawa app. Just as what I did just 2 minutes ago. And yes, if I can get maybe PrEP, that is after sex or before sex, in my phone, why should I engage in such activities? You understand? I feel it's ignorance. Most of our young people, they have the information, but they're so ignorant. If maybe an hospital comes up now and have a sensitization thing about HIV and AIDS, no one will appear, Ezra.
Yeah,
no one. Yeah.
Wow. So people are ignorant.
People are ignorant.
Our young people are so ignorant.
Yes.
In that we have information that if you engage in unprotected sex, you get HIV and AIDS, especially if you don't know the status of that person.
Yes.
You know, we are here thinking, you don't know where I come from. I don't know where you come from. I don't know your background. I don't know your family status. But I'm now here in campus and I lie to you, we engage in sex, especially unprotected.
All in the name of love.
All in the name of love. Because even in some campuses, I know there are some campuses where things like protections, like the condoms are just there, you can just go and pull them. But young people are still ignorant. So one case of unprotected sex is ignorance. Yeah, wow. So we have the information, but we are ignorant as young people. So how can we solve it? That issue of ignorance. What can we do? What is our role, especially our role? Is there anybody that is messing us up? Are our schools messing up? Are our parents? Or is it we ourselves? And what is the role of the government and what is our role? So beginning with, what can we do as young people? What is our role?
Okay. According to me, what I'm going to say is the government should introduce more of educating the youth in these venereal diseases. You know, it's not all about HIV.
Yeah, sure.
There are STDs, STIs,
Yeah, sure.
So I think they should even put them on billboards. You know, a lot of things wameweka huko kwa billboards. Vitu unnecessary. Enye itusaidi. But unajua sasa wakiweka hiyo na waeke ikwe very nini ionekane. I think they will have helped us. Alafu pia they work hand in hand with organizations and kama the what do we call the companies yenye inatengeneza condoms wapeane free. Unajua wanauza nowadays. So I think wanafaa kupeana free kwa mostly kwa universities. Because that's the place. Unaweza pata mtu ametoka kwa akiwa mzuri anashikana na mtu na ni hivyo. I think.
Wow, that is a very good point. Sheila?
So Ezra, today I was joining a Twitter space that was happening in Uganda, and I was listening to people criticizing organizations that speak about contraceptives, and I was so mad at these people because why are you criticizing contraceptives? Why are you guys talking about USA wanting to come up with a bill about abortion? Because I feel like the world, most of the people are so ignorant about the fact that these things are here and they don't want to accept. It's high time all of us should accept that HIV is here. First of all, don't criticize that person because of contraceptives. I know of an organization which wanted to bring some contraceptives to an institution, and the institution, because they call themselves a faith-based university, they won't accept these contraceptives to be in their university. But this is something happening in the society, and it's so sad because we're going to lose people in the name of Christianity. We're going to lose people in the name of we want to be holier than thou. We want to be holier than thou. Yes, the society should accept.
You know, you've brought a strong point. You know, it's funny. You know, if you look at statistics, it's funny. Let me bring it at the rates of abortion in Kenya. They say about 130,000 abortions happen every year. And in our country, Kenya, because you're talking about our country, let's just talk about it. Our country, Kenya, has about 95% Christians. So 130,000 abortions in a country that is 95% Christians. Real talk, where are these abortions happening in churches? So people even in church. Did you hear of a case of a church where they are advising their congregants not to go to hospital even when they get sick?
I mean,
there are people, trust me, who believe that HIV is not there and HIV cannot enter their bodies.
And we're in the 21st century. We need to unlearn a lot of things. The society really need to unlearn a lot of things, and they should be ready to teach the youth, because it's so sad when we lose young. We're not losing just youth, we're losing a society. We're losing dreams, we're losing visions. So the society should just accept.
And again, you know, because at times they can't reach all the people. So I think wanafaa kuanzia counties, small counties, wadeal na their own people. Like wafunze what is done. I think kazi ya chief inakuanga nini. Anafaa kuwa na these small meetings to talk to the to talk to the youth about these things.
Wow. You see that knowledge is power. So straightforward, Sheila just was bringing now our next point, which of course will be our last for the day. We've talked about all that. Now to the last issue about just let's rush through. Maybe there is a person who does not understand the effects of HIV and AIDS, or the effect of STDs, what can it do to one, because we are a normal human being, there are different scopes of life that you have. There is physical life, educational life, financial life, spiritual life. So what is the effect of HIV and AIDS to some of these things, especially to young people, now that we are addressing young people? Effect gani in HIV and AIDS inaweza kuletea kwa maisha yako?
Okay.
Yeah, Sheila, begin with Sheila and then here.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you, Ezra. First of all, me I'm someone who really loves inspirations and dreams of young people. But the moment you engage in such situation, mimi nisikie bishi yangu saizi ameshikwa na HIV, I'll really feel so bad, because I know that is like your dream has been killed. So first of all, youth maze understand who the moment you've gotten that HIV, you need shattered dreams. So for me it's dreams. A society is killed.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, wow. You know, as I stand here alone, I carry a whole generation, especially for women.
You do.
We carry a whole generation. So if I mess up right now, I'm messing a whole generation.
Exactly.
Yeah, some of us, it is churches that contributed fees for us to be in campuses.
Understand?
We come here to mess. The society, it's depending on us. So if we mess, we are messing our dreams and our aspirations.
True.
Important.
Yeah, sure. So to me, I'll say it kills your self-esteem.
Yeah, wow.
You want to do something, but because at the back of your mind, you know, niko na HIV. Some things, it will just kill your dreams, just like Sheila said. You won't go far.
Yeah, wow.
Utakuwa zile za nameza dawa. This is like your life will be miserable from then. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Wow.
And again, I discourage these these test kits yenye wameanza kupeana ya privacy. That is not good, because mtu atajipima in a private room, aone ako nayo na jiue.
Yeah.
Ina increase the rate of suicide among the youth. And ina kill a lot of thousands of generations.
Yeah. Sheila, you have something to say?
I wanted to say about Ima, like the moment we have this, we speak about this in hospitals, have your test in hospitals, we'll always be guided. Actually, I'm living with a cousin who I know he got HIV from the parents, but up to now, we are now 22, and he's still here because from what he was told in the hospital, that is what we follow. But imagine the moment I'm inside my room and I'm testing and Sheila, boom, you're positive. Nayo mtanipata Langata.
Yeah, because you know, ukienda hospitali before unasema nimekuja VCT kutest HIV, they will guide you first of all before even taking the
sample.
Yeah,
sure.
So they'll guide you, and then after that, they guide you once again.
Yeah, wow. Let me throw it around. What is the importance of testing? Because it is, I can be here and maybe I'm so ignorant, like I think there is no way I've contracted AIDS or STDs. What is the importance of testing? Is it, should I go and test as a young person?
As a young person, I feel it's so good to be tested.
Yeah.
Personally, I've been tested last year, and I feel I should even, actually, because you've brought that, I'll go regularly to get tested. Because the moment you get tested, you know your status. The moment you know your status, you're prevention to other young people.
Yeah, wow. Now, Iman, Sheila, now to our last. There is a person who maybe intentionally or unintentionally contracted HIV and AIDS or an STD. What is your advice to them, especially a young person? What next? Because there are a lot of young people. Ever heard of suicidal cases where people die, they kill themselves, especially young people? How can you take it from there? Now you have AIDS. I've seen it's good nowadays. We have social media platforms like TikTok. In TikTok, we see people that have come out to say that yes, we have this thing and we are still living and we are still surviving. So what is the importance of what next? What next should I do? I now have AIDS. What next? Yeah.
Okay, if you've already taken your what do we call your test, ushapata uko na HIV. I think from there, ukipewa advice, you'll know what to do. So the medicines utakuwa unazitake, na most of these people wanakuanga very healthy. You won't know. Sure. So I think unafaa tu kujikubali, accept that niko na HIV, and follow instructions as per venye umeambiwa na daktari. And I think life will be more easier kwa sababu ushajua. You will now do what you were supposed to do very comfortably, because you know hii madawa zinani sustain, na after all hata nikijiweka chini niseme niko na HIV, you will die.
Yeah, wow, it's very important. Sheila?
Wow. Young man outside there who has already contracted HIV/AIDS. It's not you. You're not in this alone. We have 1,000 people who are working and they never speak to other people.
Sure.
I don't know about. They always say in every 4 people there's always one who is HIV positive.
That is what they say.
So I feel we have a lot of counselors, a lot of therapists, so they can always check on these people because they can always be there to guide them. We can always check on our friends too. Like, you know of a friend, MK, who is already positive. You can always check on them, be their support. And if a young person knows someone else, we need to break the gap of stigma. The moment we start stigmatizing them, that is when they feel about themselves.
Sure.
But the moment we support them, we form an organization, we form a place whereby maybe we have coffee together one ago. Na sisi tutasema hii ni ile kona ya watu wenye kona ukimwi. No, we form something that we can interact with these people. And yes, they still life. They still live, and they can still grow.
Yeah.
Sure.
Alafu most of the girls wanakuanga na this cycle. Kuna these conversations you always have with your fellow girls. That's a small circle. I think it's very important for also them to talk about these things. Wasikwe tu wanakaa hapo hivi wanaongelea boyfriends sijui nani amefanya nini leo. They should talk about serious things like this and advise each other, kwa sababu unapata among that cycle kuna mtu mmoja ako nayo but hajai sema because anaona hawa hawana, so wataniona aje.
Yeah, wow, what a conversation. It's very important. I think I'm also learning. I've been keen on the way you guys are talking. Proper research. I think our audience at home should laud us. Now, what are your parting shots? What are your parting shots? Because as much as we talk about all this, what is that one important thing you want that young person at home, that parent at home listening and watching us right now to take when it comes to the issue of HIV and AIDS and STDs and everything? What is your parting shot? Your camera, that camera.
So hi parents and young people watching this. HIV is something that is killing young dreams, killing generations. And I believe that our generation can only be restored if we all become HIV negative. So what you can do, young people, abstain from sex. Abstinence, if no, take caution about everything that you do. But for me, I believe that whenever we start to create something, we'll always get it through. So one thing you can do is just believe in your dreams, and maybe you start believing in your dreams by starting preventing yourself. Don't get HIV, and if you have HIV, try to reach to someone. There's always someone who can always help out. Thank you.
Wow. Ima?
Okay, first things first. Hi everyone. I'm not going to tell you to abstain from sex because that's not possible for the youth around nowadays. It is not possible. Most of them, hata uambie aje, they won't. So what I'm going to say, let's just talk about it. People nowadays fear talking about it. Let's go deep into it and how we can like help them overcome this nini, because people are dying out here. Wengine wanaogopa kwenda kujipima. Go know your status, and there are a lot of therapists out here when they are going to help you in taking away that mentality ati nikiwa na HIV there is nothing I'm going to do. Yeah, let's talk about it. Don't keep quiet.
Yeah, wow. Those are very powerful and important sentiments. Well, thank you so much, guys. It's been amazing hosting you guys here today. From us here at Youth Space, we've talked about, it is our space. As we always say here at Youth Space, it is a space where we young people talk about anything in the world that concerns us. This is our space. Feel free to hook up with us. Feel free to link up with us there with the numbers running down your screen. It's been amazing to have you guys today here. I hope to see you guys next week as we talk and tackle another issue, because this is our space. We talk what is not talked about. Asanteni guys for having you.
You're
Looking
welcome.
forward for more of this. I'm quite sure this will cause a lot of talk because it is important in our side to talk about it. Well, till next time, see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.